estate, make sure you check us out at the realestateandchillpodcast.com. Buy your real estate merch now. Real estate merch with swag, a brand for hustlers only. Let's go. Welcome back to the Real Estate and Chill Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Iglesias, associate real estate broker. Today, we got my team in the building, Team L-I-N-Y. Make some noise. We got Andrew and Jennifer in the building. Let's go. Woo!
Whoa! Wasn't ready.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
Come on, you know it's a party every time.
Warned me.
It's a party every single time.
We've been here for like 20 minutes and you didn't tell me you were gonna do this.
Real Estate and Chill Podcast.
Let's go. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell, share this episode, $1 Million Game.
Better.
Please introduce yourself.
You go first.
All right. My name's Andrew Nieves. Been in real estate for 3 years. I was on my own for my first 2 years, and then my third year I decided, you know what? I got to surround myself with like-minded individuals. I came across Kevin's content. He's always posting a lot of content. Make sure you post content. Don't be afraid. I resonated with his story, and I said, you know what? This is the guy I got to team up with. 8 months later, you know, we're killing it. I'm doing the best I've ever done. It was easily the best decision that I could have made for me moving forward in my career. That's just a little bit about me.
Damn, I'm blushing. You gotta beat that. You gotta top that.
Here we go.
Yo, I didn't pay them to say this. All right, I did not pay them.
Stop. I am Jennifer Mohammed, Dream Homes Jen, as some of you know me as. I've been doing this 2 years. Been on the team 5 months.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not that long.
Yeah, like
but you've
5
been killing
months.
it. You guys have both been
5.5
killing
months. We have been killing it. That's my brother right there, just saying.
Go.
And yeah, I came from another team, and this has honestly been the best decision that I think I've ever made.
All right, so we're gonna get into that because we got beef. All right, we're gonna settle this beef on camera.
We're not in the
all right,
beef. No.
First of all, we were talking in our DMs, right? I may even pop up the receipts too in here.
Don't you dare.
She was asking me certain questions. Next thing I know, she's at Coldwell Bank. I'm like, yo, what the heck happened?
Listen, Linda, listen. I'm just saying, I was nervous. You have to understand that people who don't know who you are in real life, they see you doing these big events, they see you doing the podcast, like it's kind of scary. And I know my potential now. This is just the beginning. But I know my potential now. Before I didn't. I just had these big dreams, and then it's like, here's Kevin, and my dreams are aligning with what you're doing, and I was scared a little bit, and then I met you, and I'm like, he's not that scary.
I can relate to that. I was definitely scared too. Just picking out a team. I know I had to pick the right, group of people to be around. My first 2 years I was by myself, and I felt like I was by myself. So it was definitely scary deciding to join, a group of individuals. But like I said, it was the best decision I could have made.
Because you hear so many things about teams and stuff.
You do, and everybody sees it on Instagram. If you follow all these teams, people, they come and go. So you don't want to be that next person who got himself into the wrong situation or just aligned himself with the wrong people. Not necessarily the wrong situation, but it's important you align yourself with the right people that you connect with,
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to dive into that, like, as far as support. Give us a little background of, like, what you guys did before real estate. Like, why did you choose real estate? I'm going to start off with you, Jen.
That's a long story.
Honestly, I was an executive assistant for literally 12 years. My final almost 5 years, I was an executive assistant to a commercial real estate agent. And
Really?
It was great. Like, he's doing his thing, but I am building his company for him. I am doing deals for him while he is in Mexico on cruises, in Europe, like doing everything possible for him. Great guy. But I had already had my license before. Life happens. I get scared. I go back to 9 to 5 because I think that that's just where, I'm going to grow, and it's not. And I just kept having real estate like right here. And then I'm looking at like millions and millions of dollars. I'm helping this guy get $250,000 commission.
Sheesh.
I did that for him.
Can't help but think. Damn.
Oh my God. And you know what he gave me? Pizza. I swear to God.
What?
Listen, I love me some pizza. Everybody knows I love me some pizza. And he was like, he came back, he was like, you did it. And for lunch, order whatever pizza you want. I'm thinking I'm getting a bonus. Like, I got pizza. And then I was like, that's it. COVID happened. And shout out to my husband because he's the real one. He kept saying, just do real estate. Like, you know that's what you love. Like, that's where you are supposed to be. And I got back into it.
I don't want to tell you this now, but I got pizza for you as well.
I swear to God. No.
Who doesn't love pizza? I'll take pizza.
But that's amazing. I mean, you saw the potential. You just took the risk. You bet on yourself. And now you're here. You've been killing it. You guys have both been killing it. What about you, Drew?
So I have an interesting story. I come from humble beginnings, you know. My family never really had a lot of money. We always worked hard. That's all we know. You know, a lot of Spanish families. That's how we start. So always, growing up, I always worked hard and did a lot of blue-collar jobs. Did plumbing, landscaping, framing. I was installing granite countertops in kitchens. I did that from, like, I want to say 16 to 25, 26. And I felt like I was selling myself short, you know. I'm a big believer in you got to believe in yourself, you know, if you're really going to go anywhere. You got to make that first sale you have to make is yourself. You got to sell yourself.
1,000%.
All right. So I always knew, like, you know, I could do bigger things, and I was destined for bigger things with my life. So I said, all right, no more breaking my back, working 9 to 5, because that's what we were taught.
Yes.
Growing up. We don't know any better.
Just get yourself a good 9 to 5 and you'll be okay.
So I said, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta change my life. I'm not happy right now. You know, I'm breaking my back, and I know this is not what I want to do with myself. I know I was meant to do more. Started reading. I like to read a lot. One of the books that put me onto real estate was, it's a famous book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure you guys heard about it.
It's sitting on my dresser. I haven't read it yet.
You should read it.
It's on my dresser.
So that book is what really opened up my eyes to investing, you know, and just building wealth. My family, my parents never taught me. They were never taught, so nobody ever knew anything about that. I read that book. I started learning, okay, the rich build wealth by investing in assets, real estate, stocks, companies, whatever it is. So I decided I was going to, you know, invest in real estate. I was doing my blue-collar jobs. I said, okay, I'm not going back to school, but I need to save capital so I could invest in real estate. I went to Google. I typed in highest paying jobs that you don't need a lot of education for. I was trying to do quick. I was trying to be quick, you know, make money quick. So real estate was
ChatGPT.
Real estate was at the top of that list. I said, real estate. All right, it makes sense.
Might as well.
Let's do it. I signed up for the 2-month course. I think it was a 70-hour course. I recommend taking that course because after I took that course, I passed my test the first time. But more importantly, I walked into that test super confident. Like, I got this. I
was scared.
Like, I'm ready. I did this 7-hour course. Like, I studied so much. And when I went in there, boom, I passed my first time. And it's not an easy test.
No, it's not.
It's not an easy test at all. So that's how I got my license. My first couple years, I was in and out of the business. I wasn't really, you know, I didn't really fully dive in. I was trying to take care of my grandmother at the time as well, who had dementia and Alzheimer's. And it just hit her at the time. So she was still there with us, you know. I didn't know really what I was getting myself into. The plan was to do both, take care of my grandmother and sell real estate. Within, I think, 6 months, my grandmother's, you know, condition started getting worse and worse. And that's when I realized, okay, I can't do both of these jobs. You know, so I had to put real estate on pause for 2 years and just take care of my grandmother. Finally, after a couple years, me and my family, you know, we made a decision together that the best thing for her and her safety, you know, was to put her into a home. And I know she would have wanted me to pursue my dreams and go after the real estate career. So
Stop.
Yeah, it was not an easy. I still think about it today. I would do it all over again, you know.
You're such a good guy.
But yeah, I keep that in the back of my mind. I got 3 brothers, single mom, 4 boys. She sacrificed so much for us, so it's just whenever things get hard, I just think about my upbringing, and I'm like,
your motivation, your why.
Yeah.
You know,
that's my
that's
why.
Yes.
Yep, it keeps you going.
That's one thing I recommend for anybody, not even just the real estate industry, but if you're gonna go after like lofty goals or any goals in general, you gotta have a strong reason why.
Oh, absolutely.
Yo, it's dope. We're talking about whys. My whys in the room right here. I had my son.
Hi.
Yeah, my son Jaden's
Your
here.
twin.
I was 17 years old when I had him, and I was in high school getting 2 jobs. You know, he was my motivation. I was like, yo, I got to become somebody. I can't be a failure. You know what I mean? Like that. When you have that why and that motivation, it just pushes you even further.
Yeah.
Now time flies, bro. I'm getting old. Like my bones are hurting. My body's
my
hurting. I'm
God.
getting gray hair.
I'm the
My
oldest
son
one
is
in this
taller than
room. I don't
me.
wanna hear it.
Like it's crazy, but.
And the way that like the kids look at you, forget social media and all these other people and us looking up to you. It's the way your kids look at you. That literally is the strongest why you possibly can have, because my kids this summer was crazy, but I kept them home with me, so I was working, dropping them off, doing this, doing that. And my daughter straight up was like, next year, I want to be your assistant, Mom, because you work so hard. Or there's days that they would be like, Mom, can you take a break? And I'll take a break. And they'll be like, you're working so hard. And then we went on a vacation and they're like, look, Mommy did this. And they're seeing how hard I'm working. And it's only like making the fire like burn brighter and brighter.
They're gonna remember that too, because I remember when I was younger, I watched my mom sacrifice.
Yes, my mom too.
So much. Just
They
for
work so
my brothers.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 jobs overnight during
Yep.
the day, no life. But I always ask her, Mom, what kept you going? She's like, you guys. I had no option. There was no quit. I had to take care of you guys.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, it's just easy to keep going.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, when you see your parents struggle as a kid, that's just like, that's your fuel right there.
It is.
You know what I mean?
We had roaches. We came from the Bronx. Like
The Boogie Down Bronx.
Yes, the Boogie
Jenny
Down.
from the block.
Crazy. My maiden name is Perez, so they used to be like, "Oh, Jennifer Lopez," and it's like, "No, sir, it's Perez." And yeah, Mashula Parkway. I had family. I still have family in Grand Concourse, all over the place. But that's really where we came from. And then my mom took every penny she had in her 401k to get us out of there. Every penny. And we made it. We struggled. The first couple years we were out here, we struggled hard. But we made it.
That's what it's all about,
Yeah.
Just that end goal. Like, I'm still here. We survived. It was tough times, but we hustled and made it happen.
I tell my mom and my brothers that all the time. Like everything we've been through, like we still got each other.
Yeah.
Through thick and thin, we always had each other. So that's another thing that always keeps me going. I got my family. That's my why.
Yeah, of course. Bro, when you talk about roaches, like I just posted that the other day. Like we grew up with roaches. Me and my brother used to take turns, like getting the dead rats from underneath the stove. And we would laugh. Like we were kids, you know what I mean? Like we didn't know any better. And with the roaches, bro, one thing about roaches though,
They're disgusting.
in the hood, they don't care. The lights cut on, they're like, oh, you back?
Oh, you're back to my house? They
Yeah,
might as
you
well
back?
pay rent. Like they act like that's their house.
It's insane. Roaches in the hood don't care about anything.
I live here too, right?
It's so nasty. I remember, oh my God, I had come out here. My family's calling me Valley Girl because now I'm from Long Island and I'm starting to act different and all of this. And we go to my cousin's party and I screamed on the top of my lungs. They're like, what happened? And I had seen a roach for the first time in years. And it was just like, like they're disgusting. I'm sorry. We had a listing.
Yo, we had a listing in Queens, right?
Oh.
And we were in the basement. And I saw the roaches. She didn't see the roaches. I checked the utility room and I popped my head in there. There's 3 roaches just staring at me like, yo, what's up?
Like
and I'm like, these things are not
going.
even moving. They're just looking at me. And I just look back and I'm like, yo, they got roaches in here.
And there's like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Bless their hearts.
No, the worst is when you move something and boom, like a family of roaches jump at you. Just like, yo.
45 of them. They're never alone.
Yo,
They're
did you
never
know this
alone.
though? That you could, like, an atomic bomb can go off and roaches like one of the only insects that would survive.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
I didn't know that.
They're probably as old as Jesus.
I don't know. But can you Google that to make sure?
What's the
Yeah, Mike's gonna
lifespan on
Google
a
it.
roach? What's the lifespan?
Yeah,
Lifespan
it's
of-
100% true, right? All right, cool.
That's
I'm just making sure.
gross.
All right. But let's go back to talking about support because you guys were solo agents. I mean, you were on a couple teams, right?
Yeah.
Support is big. Like, how important is that, right? Because people don't realize when you're on your own. Like I was on my own for what, since 2021 or so when I started the team. It was a lot of self-discipline, self-motivation. Like,
Absolutely.
yo, you got to keep going. You again, just think about the why, the motivation, and just pushing yourself. But it's a lot.
Absolutely. I would agree.
I see all the stories going through your head right now. He's like, it's a lot.
Yeah, no, there was a lot. What was your question again, just specifically?
Like support. Like how big is support?
Support, it's huge. I mean, I thought I was getting support on my first brokerage. I was with Coldwell Banker. I'm not going to mention the name of the brokerage.
We're going to have to bleep that out. You already said the name.
Yeah. Well, no,
You don't know what office.
yeah, you don't know what office. But it was very like old school corporate.
Fax machines.
Now that we're here at Signature, it's like a whole different
Night and day, right?
God, I love Signature.
The agents like actually like each other. They want to help each other. And then I'm like, for me, this is weird because I'm coming from an office where it's like everyone's looking at you like you're the competition.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to help you. They'll smile and say, yeah, I got you. And then when you come to, ask for help, they go quiet on you. Mm-hmm. So support is huge. I thought I was getting good support. But after 2 years, I still felt alone. And I'm like, this isn't support. And I was giving up a nice chunk of my commission for no help at all. Now, I don't mind, sharing. There's plenty to go around for everybody. But what am I paying for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the saying? Value? No, price is what you pay. Value is what you get. I was paying a hefty price, and I was not receiving enough value. Ever since I joined you, everything switched around. I'm not just saying that for the camera. Kevin's he's a great leader.
Yo, hide the money. Hide the money.
And, Kevin will inspire you and motivate you, to do better for yourself. So,
but I'm gonna keep it real because you and I spoke like in our DMs as well too. And you're like, yo, what do you think about the situation that I'm in? I gave you advice. Like I never once tried to recruit you. I was just like, yo, if I was in your shoes, this is what I would do. And then you hit me back like I don't know, like a week or two later. Like, yeah, yo, good looks, it worked. I'm like, all right, that's dope. Anything you need, just let me know. So
and even after the first time I talked to you, I still wasn't like fully sold. I was like it's back and forth. I was scared, But after a while, I was just like, all right, you got to take risks in life. I'm a big believer in that. You got to take that leap of faith and just trust. And even if things don't work out, there's still a lesson to be learned. You can take something from that, and use it for good moving forward. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a gamble. I'm gonna join Kev. And I'm glad I did. I'm sure you could say the same thing. So
Yeah, I really, really could because
yo, you were so nervous when we first met. You want me to tell you? She came with a whole pamphlet, bro. She opened up her composition notebook, and she was like, "This is what I'm looking for." I was like, "That's it."
He literally said that. I was like, "I have X, Y. These are my ideas. This is that. This is that." And at first, you know how there's a few steps you got to take. You don't just get on Team LINY. It's not like that, so don't get hype. There's a few steps you have to take. I'm just saying.
That's a fact, though. I don't put just anybody on.
Yes.
Same for everybody.
So, but he saw how hungry I was, and I really, really was nervous. But it's only because I knew that this was the move. And instead of me prolonging the inevitable of where I know what I need to do and where I need to be, I was like, but what if he is like, no. Because I had so many doors slammed in my face. I had so many people say that they'll help. And it's more of, the give and take, but it's a way more taking than it is giving. I've been used and all that in this industry because I am who I am. I'm like the nice girl that I love everybody. I love people, and people take advantage of that. And I was tired of it. So now I know my value. I know what I want. And that's what I went in saying, this is what I want. This is what I'm trying to do. Can you get me there? And he literally was just like, that's it? And then I was like, what? Like, this is what? And now I'm like, actually, that's not all that I want. So that's the cool thing about being on our team is that you'll be like, okay, that's cool. You can do that. So do more. Like when I was like, oh yeah, I want to do 10 transactions. You were like, you're going to do like 20, 30. Like 10, what is that? Like that's nothing. So That's the cool thing about it, because you're good soil. This team is good soil that we can grow in. And I've been on other teams and I've seen things, and this is not that.
Hey, make sure you check us out at the realestateandchillpodcast.com. Buy your real estate merch now. Real estate merch with swag. A brand for hustlers only. Let's go! So, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because team leader wise, when you see like people joining different teams, it just raises a red flag.
Oh, he was looking at me like, what's wrong with you?
So when I saw that, same thing like when I see people join different brokerages, like so soon, like it's like, nah, it's not the brokerage, it's something within yourself. Or maybe, look, it could be that there's no support or whatever the case may be, just not, you haven't found the right fit. And I was always against that. So with you, when I sat down, I was like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to break my rules. I'm going to say, all right, let's work together. Let's see how it goes. And then we went for there. But I'm glad I took the risk as well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I took the risk because, again, you guys are taking the risk on me. I'm taking the risk on you guys as well.
And it's been over after that. Honestly, in the past 5 months, I think I've done more business than the past 2 years.
That's what it feels like.
Nothing against anybody. I'm just saying, like, you have to find what fits for you. But on top of that, first, as an agent, you need to know what you want to do. If you don't have a set goal, you don't know what you want to do, what your short-term goals are, your long-term goals, and what is like your reaching goals. Like, this is like my dream, but I want to do this and this. If you don't know that, you're not, no matter where you go, you're not going to excel. 100%. Because if you don't know what you want, and then you don't get tired of your own stuff, I almost cursed. You don't get tired of your own stuff and force yourself to grow, there's going to be no growth.
And I tell people this all the time, like, yo, I can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself. It's never going to work.
Yeah.
All I'm going to do is get myself stressed out, and it's going to cause tension. So if you really don't want this, and you guys can always tell when you meet somebody and, like, you can see somebody, like, they just don't have that burning desire to, like, really want to succeed, you can always tell. So, I mean, that was always one thing about me. It's like, yo, my reputation exceeds me. I got a good reputation. I don't ever want somebody to say, oh, I joined him and blah, blah. So that's why I was very careful who I put on, because I'm like, I just don't want to just put anybody on, because then.
So you were skeptical?
Of you?
Yeah.
100%. You never knew this? I never told you this. So, I mean, look, we're being honest.
Come on, we're here. Let's go. Let it out.
Because like I said, I just didn't know. When I see people making moves in different switches, I'm like, yo, maybe she's the problem. But you're not the problem.
He looked at me like a whole red flag. I was just
basically.
You're like, you know what? I'm gonna take the chance.
Red flag.
Cut it out. They're actually red too. You're annoying.
But nah, look, I'm glad.
So what did you think about me?
What I liked about you from the beginning is you're very coachable. Like, I would tell you, yo, you gotta like do this and do it this way, and you would just instantly like pivot. I'm like, all right, I got it. Like yesterday, on the phone, I'm like, yo, tweak this because you're not saying it correctly, and then you're like, yeah, you're right. I wasn't thinking about it like that.
Personal. I'm just like,
no, you can't take.
Okay, I got
But you're the type of person that you come off not cocky, not mean, not rude, not arrogant. So when you're trying to coach us, it's literally like, yo, just do this, just say this, just do this. It's because you actually care. Yeah, and look, and like I said, that's why I run the team the way I run it, because I've been in that position as well. Like when I've been taking advantage, people taking money out of my pocket. Like I was like, damn, like I don't ever want nobody else to feel like this. Yeah. And I don't ever want to be that hypocrite, right? And be like, all right, this happened to me and I'm going to do it to other people. Like, I believe that if you treat people good, you know, they'll do good by you. And I think I've been pretty good, you know, as far as having your backs. That's one thing about me. If you got my back, you'll never have to question if I got yours. Like, I'll ride for you to the end, you know, and
without a doubt.
That's exactly how we are. And we don't even have to like get ghetto and we're grown now.
And it's cool.
Proud of us.
I feel like being around you guys, it makes me like, no, all right, I got my team behind me. They're hustling.
Absolutely. I call you bro. Like, you're like, this is family.
Get your butt up out of bed and go make those moves. All right? There's no time to be slacking.
Because you're killing it over there, bro.
I see Kevin and I'm just like, yo.
Killing it.
It's possible, you know?
Yes.
It's possible. You can do it too. I can do it too. Mm-hmm. You know? That's why I see Kevin. I'm just like, yo, this is proof that we can do it. You know, if Kevin can do it, why can't you and I do it? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's important too, like, because there's so many agents that are leaving the industry, right? Like, what do you guys take on as far as that? Like, I made a video the other day of like 60,000 agents already left the building in 2023.
That's how I see it. There is more for me because at the end of the day, it just shows those were the agents that saw COVID and everybody was buying and everything was just so easy. Now the market is insane. And if you don't know what you're talking about and you don't actually like what you're doing, you're not going to stay. Let them go. They're not the real ones.
I think really carefully about joining this industry, because you know, on the outside, on the exterior, it looks very nice, flashy lifestyle, but they don't tell you what you really got to do.
Oh my gosh, they think that we're just like on vacations and you can make your own hours. Are you kidding me?
They think we just open doors.
That drives me crazy.
Show a house. That's what realtors do, and they make all this money.
You can make your own hours, but to a T. Because at the end of the day, I can say, oh, yeah, don't call me after this time. That buyer or seller is going to call you and text you and email you whenever the heck they want. There is no days off. This is, no. When everyone's like, yeah, it's Friday. Friday, that means that I have a lot of open houses to do. I have an open house to go to. I have so much to do. Our Saturday and Sunday is more hours than that 40-hour week that we used to do.
100%.
It's crazy.
But, yeah, be careful before you decide to get into real estate. You got to be self-driven. You got to be motivated, because there's a lot of days where you're gonna be like, "Damn, is this for me?"
The hard days.
I'm getting cussed at. I can't set no appointments. People are just being mean. It's just this. You have your days,
Deals fall through.
But your reason why is gonna help you. Also, I believe self-dialogue is super important. What you say to yourself every day in your head, in between these 2 ears, is going to determine your mindset. Your mindset's going to determine your attitude. Your attitude will determine how you feel, and how you feel will determine your actions. Ultimately. So what you're saying up here to yourself, ultimately your mindset is going to take you a long way. I'm big on mindset, just like you. So I think that's another reason why we all connect. We all believe in ourselves. We got a lot of faith. So.
Faith is the big one. It took me a long time, though, to have that mindset. Like, I can actually... Ooh, sorry.
Breaking things over here.
I always am. But the mindset, like, I can actually do this. And I think that has a lot to do with who you surround yourself with. Because if we say we can't, you literally tell us, yes, you can. You don't let us give up. And you won't let me give up. I don't let you give up, because we'll be like, absolutely not, or, cheering each other on. And it's the same with everybody in our team. So it's really about who you surround yourself with. But that mindset also, you're right, that it really is that thing that can help catapult your career. If you don't have the right mindset.
That's the game changer for me, my mindset.
Yeah, it took me a while, though. I'm one of those that I'm really hard on myself. But now I'm like, I could do this.
You got this.
I'm doing this.
I think we're all very supportive of one another. I mean, you guys are all wearing the Real Estate and Chill merch too.
Cash flow. Let's go.
Please, first of all, that's his 45th shirt that he has. This is my first one, and I have been begging this guy for a shirt for how long?
Hey, make sure you check us out at the realestateandchillpodcast.com. Buy your real estate merch now. Real estate merch with swag, a brand for hustlers only. Let's go.
Kevin, always being creative. That's another thing. You feed off creativity. So put yourself around people that are creative, I bounce off of Kevin's ideas all the time. And sometimes he bounces off of my ideas, and we'll come up with something, really cool.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first appointment we like real appointment we went on. It was that big appointment. And I was like, all right. He was like, yeah, I'm not signing with you guys though. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, that drives him.
I like when somebody doubts me. You know what I mean? I like somebody telling me you can't do this, and then give me the reasons why. I said, all right, let's sit down. Let's discuss this. And then we were pitching, right? I was saying things that Drew looked at me. He's like, yeah, I came up with that on the spot. He looked at me like
this man is great. Yes.
But from that first appointment, you saw that like it was just how you carry yourself, like that you gotta have that confidence.
You really do.
Once you gotta sell yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And once somebody feels sold on you, they're like, all right, this is the person they could do it. I believe in them.
Yeah.
If you don't have that confidence about you,
If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anybody else to believe in you?
exactly. Yeah. If you're not sold on you, how can you sell yourself to somebody else?
They're gonna feel that. Your prospect, your seller, buyer, they're gonna feel that energy as soon as you talk to them. Whether you're confident, nervous, you're transferring that energy. You know, they're feeling those vibrations, and they're gonna know right away. All right, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy's got me. Or I don't know about this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Do you get nervous ever?
Nah. I mean, in the beginning, yes. I used to get really, really nervous. Like when I first got started, I would feel like the butterflies in my stomach. Every time I knocked on the door, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, that's
like, you know, I'm like, but now it's just like, Andrew will tell you, we've been door knocking together. You, on the other hand, I've been harassing you to go door knock. Oh yeah, you did.
Okay then.
But
he's trying to come.
I just play with everybody, you know. Like I just make it fun. And I think when you make it fun, it's just like it doesn't come off so serious.
We do. We have fun with it, me and Kev, all the time.
I get so nervous, but then like once I start talking, it's a wrap. That he's seen me, like he'll see me and I'll be like, oh my God, Kevin, I'm so nervous. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? And then I start talking, and at the end of it, he was like, you were great. Like, why were you nervous? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just the nerves of the inevitable, I guess. Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
I feel like it's unfamiliar. Territory. You haven't been there, so you haven't experienced those emotions yet, and they're rushing in, and you're just like, okay. Once you do it, you get comfortable with it.
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because you guys, what I always try to do with the team is I always try to make sure that you guys are well balanced and well versed in both sides, meaning buyers and sellers. So, because look, I always say I don't like to categorize myself in like I'm just a listing agent or a buyer's agent. I'm a let's make a deal agent. Whether it's a buyer or a seller, let's just make a deal. Let's make it happen. Like, you know, the money's there, the offer is there, let's make it happen. But it's very important to, on the listing side, right? Yeah. Like, how is that different, I guess, for you? Because you were more on like the buyer's end now on getting listings.
I'll literally be like, yes, I am a buyer's agent. I don't mind saying it because I love it. It is... Oh, I don't want to be. I'm going to just keep it 100. The seller side is so much easier. It is so much easier, okay? I'm just saying, no offense to anyone, but so much easier, so much less work. I guess you do have to sell yourself because you have so many agents sometimes trying to get the same house to sell it, but...
After you get the listing signed, it's easier, but I feel like getting the actual listing signed is the harder part.
No, absolutely not. No. You know why? Because there is a million agents right now, and you have one buyer, and they are going to have other agents trying to pick at them throughout the entire process.
That's true. Very
so you could sign paperwork, and most people don't have their buyer sign any paperwork. But at the end of the day, I just had a phone call right before this from a lender saying, hey, somebody else called saying that they want to work with your buyer and everything. I know I have her. Like, I know that we're good to go because she's just going on different websites trying to situate it. But literally, until I'm under contract, I have to fight to make sure that they stay my buyer. Once you have everything signed, which is in the beginning of the process, you're golden. That's your seller. You're just hoping to get both sides in that case and call it a day. But at the end of the day, I have to fight for my buyers and also for my buyers to stay with me the entire time.
Yeah, no, I've been there before where I've had...
I love it, though.
Yo, isn't she great? Like, this is what you could do at the buyer's agent training. I've been telling her, excuse me, we got to schedule something as far as, like, doing the buyer training, like, team-wise, because...
He sees me like lock him in, and he's like, "How?"
Like, you just got this lead a week ago. Like,
she's a killer with she knows how to work the buyers. I feel like there's a process.
There's something that I told one of the people on our team, and because he's like, "How am I going to do this buyer?" How am I? The number one thing that makes your life easier and their life easier in your first conversation, find somewhere where you guys can connect, where you guys are the same. And then that is going to be like your why we're going to stay together, why you're going to trust me through this whole process. Because I can give them, hey, I'm sorry, somebody else got the house and they came $50,000 more than our offer or whatever it is, whatever bad news I have to give them, I can say this, but I understand that this is why. This is your why, and then this is why we're connected. And then you always go back to that, and then they're like, okay, I trust you.
She gets it. She gets me.
Correct. You always have to make sure that we're connected. I get you. I get your why. But then, excuse me, this is why we're working together. So you have to kind of like intertwine them all together.
Right. And a lot of buyers I've worked with have come from, not so great experience.
Oh my God, yeah.
So you're
other
up next.
agents, all of that.
You gotta
that's
prove
my
yourself.
favorite. Oh my God, that's my favorite because I'm different. And I know that I'm different because I actually care.
There's a lot of lazy agents out there. Stop being lazy.
And snakes. They're snakes.
It's a cold world out there, for sure.
I'm just sitting back and listening to you guys. You guys took over the whole podcast. I'm just
sorry.
makes my job easy.
We're settled in now.
I know. Now I'm good.
Yo, before you was about to vomit all over the place.
No,
like
you wanted
Drew
me to
over
vomit
here
so
having
this went
cold
viral.
sweats. Like, yo, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
First podcast. So I was like,
Yes.
this is gonna be like, but
But this is just how we are.
yeah, we're just
Now
chilling.
we're just like, oh yeah.
How have you seen, like, just from like your own experience, like as far as growth, like how have you seen your growth since you've joined the team? You know.
Oh my God.
I just went by myself to a listing appointment and got a commission the other day for the first time.
Let's go. Let's
You know
go.
what I'm saying? So like, I've never done that ever. You know,
I'm proud of you.
I wouldn't even. I remember when I was afraid to even ask for percent. Now,
I know. Now percent is easy.
now
Percent is because
won't-
I know you.
I won't even ask for anything less than, and I'll look you right in your face because I know I deserve it. I know I'm gonna do more than these discounted agents. You know what I'm saying?
The discounted agent.
Right. Don't do that. Watch out for those guys.
Oh, because they're not going to do anything. When they're like, oh, yeah, no, I'll list for $2, it's because they're going to just list your house on Zillow, and they're never going to show up to any of the appointments. They're going to let the buyer's agents do everything, and then just say, oh, you got an offer.
Right. Don't be afraid to do more than what you're paid for. People appreciate that.
Oh, and they're the ones that take the cell phone pictures.
Oh my god.
Like they take the listing pictures
those are
on their
horrible.
cell phone. Sorry.
Those are horrible.
No offense.
Can't
Again,
believe people still do that.
it's ridiculous.
See that? I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
So I'm getting confidence boost as far as
My business, like I said, in the past 5 months, I have done more. And I think it's because, again, we're surrounded by like-minded people. You drive us, and you've shown us not only our potential, but like that the sky really is the limit. And
Yeah.
now, instead of it just being like, oh, I'm a real estate agent and I'm a mom, so I can make my schedule and still be a present mom. Now it's not just about, oh, yeah, I can make my own schedule. That's why I love real estate. No, I love real estate now because it is going to help me build a life that I dreamed about for my family. Because that's what you can do with real estate. Just like you were saying on the investing side, and that's what these wealthy people do. They invest. But we're also investing in ourselves when we're actually a good real estate agent. Because now we're helping other people buy or sell their house and relocate or whatever they want to do. But we're building the life of our dreams. And there's so much we can do with real estate. And we're going to do it.
I love that. One thing I want to dive into too is that, like, most people, you have 4 kids.
I do have 4 kids.
4 kids. You can't even tell you got 4 kids.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying that because a lot of people will say, oh, I can't do real estate because I got 4 kids. I got no time. Or like people I feel are so comfortable
Yeah.
that they make excuses
Yeah.
that
It
they
is
don't push themselves forward to do anything in their life.
No, you could have a kid and use them as an excuse. And sometimes it is actually a viable excuse. My kids this summer, my kids got sick. My kids wanted to go on vacation. I had to make time for them. And it was difficult because now my volume, my demand in real estate is so much higher than it was. And I have 4 kids. Like it was June and July was interesting. But instead of using them as an excuse, I saw it as I can take them on a vacation. I can focus on getting us our dream home or doing these big things that I really want to do with my kids. And they're not an excuse at all. They're literally my driving force, 100%. And there's times where I am exhausted, but not only do I love my kids, I love what I do. And that helps too, because there's too many people that sign up to be a real estate agent and it's just because they want the money. But I actually like helping these people, and I actually like what we're doing here. Like, this is really cool what we're doing, because nobody is doing it the way that we're doing it. So when you put those two together, that's why we've been excelling so much, because we could freaking do this.
Yeah, I love that. And it's true. Like, again, your kids are your motivation. Some people say, oh, I can't do this because of my kids, when it should be, I got to do this because of my kids, for my kids.
That's laziness right there.
Yeah.
You have
so
to
that's
get, like, tired of your own stuff.
And your kids are back in school now.
Hallelujah.
And I texted her. I was like, all right, now it's time to turn it up a notch. So whatever you're doing, you got to multiply
Friday, door knocking. Like, that's why he's like, you're not going to door knock? Watch me. Watch me door knock.
Same thing with Sarah, though. Sarah's
She's a beast.
She's got 4 kids, too. And that lady hustles like nobody's business. She just makes it happen.
I love that
I
girl.
got so much respect for her, for real.
I've seen her.
She's fearless, no excuses, and just gets after it.
Yeah, I've seen her give tours where, like, I just sit back and I'm just like, damn, she killed it. Like, I'm just, like, in disbelief. Like, it's amazing.
We love you, Sarah.
Yeah, we do. So you ain't got no kids, but you are big into fitness.
Yeah.
That's his baby.
This man is built like a
That is
freaking
my
action
baby.
figure.
The gym is my baby.
No, like, for real, though. Makes me sick.
So growing up, I was always into sports. I was very competitive. I want to say like right when I was getting out of high school, I got like a really bad ankle injury, and I decided, all right, I can't really play sports like I once did. So that's when I got into lifting weights. You know, there's not as much cutting; it's more stationary. And then I found a passion for fitness, and then the next thing I know, it's helping me forge a stronger mindset. It's helping me be more consistent, more disciplined. It's carrying into real life. And you just keep growing, you know. Who doesn't want to look good and take care of themselves? You know what I'm saying? You're lying if you say you don't.
No, you're right.
Look good, feel good.
Exactly. It's mind, body, soul. Everything's connected.
You got to make Mike look like The Rock over here, bro. He gonna be bench pressing like 600.
Mike was in the gym with me the other day. We got some footage.
I know. He was texting me like, yo, Andrew should be a personal trainer.
I thought about that route, but I don't know. Something pushed me towards real estate instead, and I'm glad I did.
Yo, that could be the hook right there. They'll be like, yo, sell your house with me. I'll give you some free personal training.
I mean, I always use it as a conversation starter in the gym, you know, and then boom.
And you're starting to put the two of them together.
Absolutely.
With your shirtless video the other day.
I got so many like leads and deals from people. A conversation that started in the gym.
So let's talk about that.
At
Content.
least 6-7 deals at least.
Content is big, right? Content is big for anybody's business in general. Like, how big is content for you guys now? And shout out to EPM because they shoot all of our content.
For real.
Yo, EPM, #1 real estate.
And they make you feel so comfortable. I love them.
They do. Content's huge. I didn't do any content before I met Kevin. I didn't really understand it. I didn't understand the brand mindset, but just being around Kevin, I'm a quick learner. I just got to see it, and I'll pick it up. And once I started making reels, Kevin, got me out of my comfort zone. He's like, yo, Kevin gave me an idea, and I just ran with it.
Kevin got you out of your shirt.
He did.
Hey, yo. That was Mike.
So
and Levy.
I made I started making reels. If you go on my Instagram page, you'll see me relating fitness to real estate. I got a lot of great feedback. I was surprised. And people were telling me, dude, amazing content, keep it coming. Next thing I know, my audience is growing, my brand is growing, and more people are starting to recognize me. So I'm like, okay, now I understand the power of content, making content and reels. It's you're really growing your brand and just reaching a wider audience, and that's the whole point. You don't want to be that secret agent as a real estate agent. You want as many people to know who you are as possible. There's going to be some people that don't like you. There's going to be some people that relate and connect with you. So don't think about what people are going to say about you. Just put it out there. That would be my advice for content.
And you know what's big about you is that nobody does fitness and real estate together combined. So that's like the perfect niche. Like you're gonna become. I'm gonna say this now. You're gonna become. And I told you from the beginning. You're gonna become the face of fitness and real estate in one.
And I saw somebody doing something like you the other day on social media that they've never done before, and it looked mighty close to your video.
Really?
And I was like, trying to be like Andrew. I didn't like it. I'm not even gonna front. I did not like it.
I had so many agents reach out to me like, "Yo, such a creative idea. Let's collaborate. Let's link up. Let's do a meeting.
Do it.
Put our ideas together.
You're gonna be that
and
type
do a
of
video."
agent to actually do it. You're gonna collaborate with them.
So to me, that told me, right? That told me like what Kevin was saying. I'm onto something.
Yeah, you are.
I gotta keep it going.
Yeah, it's all about consistency.
Like something
be
like
consistent.
Original.
I know. You're the one.
And it's unique. You know, it fits my niche and what I love to do and what I'm passionate about. I could talk to you all day about fitness. I know what I'm talking about, and I really love it. So it works for me. You know, you just gotta find what works for you.
Yeah, definitely. What was dope is that you called me the other day when you were shooting with Levy, and you're like, "Yo, some guy just came up to me randomly because he saw me shooting content." And he's like, "Yo, I got a podcast. Come on in. I love it. I love what you're doing. I'm shooting content too."
And I had the Real Estate Hustle shirt.
Hey.
He's like, yo, I don't mean to interrupt. I was literally in the middle of shooting. I don't mean to interrupt. I love what you're doing. I see the Real Estate Hustle shirt. He's like, I'm a wholesaler. I own a roofing company. I'm also a contractor. I just started shooting content. So I love what you're doing. I understand it. He's like, we should get together one day.
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Let me take your number down. Boom. So we're supposed to sit down and have lunch and mastermind, brainstorm. This business is all about creating relationships.
Look at you.
Like Kevin always says. So you never know what that could lead to.
Absolutely.
So, and it was because I decided to get out of my comfort zone. I was literally on the top of the stairs at Unique Fitness in Holbrook. It overlooks the whole gym. You'll see my video, my reel coming out. And it's literally just surveying the whole gym. And he's on the Stairmaster just watching me. And I guess he was like, you know what? I gotta go talk to this guy. So
that's dope though, right?
I thought about you. I was
really
like,
is. I'm so proud of you. Even though you've been on the team longer than me, you're younger than me. So I see you as like my little brother. I'm so proud of you.
And I see you as my big sis. You know, very supportive.
Oh, that hurts me though, big sis.
Yeah.
You didn't have to take it there though. Whoa. Damn. Wow.
Just kidding.
No, he does. He actually forces me to do my content. I started doing content in my living room and at my dining room table with a ring light. And people liked them. And I would do like silly things, and educational is my big thing. And people love them. I get nervous. I don't really love doing it, but I do at the same time. It's like kind of weird. I do get really nervous, but I get buyers from it and I get sellers from it. My listing in Deer Park I got from social media. And
was it?
Yeah. Like I knew her. We met on social media. Then we're like, we have the same friend.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And she follows, always likes my stuff, always does all of that. And yeah, now she got to see her house on my social media, which she loved. And my husband's always like, oh, look at you with your 1,000-something followers.
Yo, why he hating for it?
Oh, my God. No, because my husband's known me since I was 13. So now he sees, like, this vision I have, and he's heard me talk about this vision. And he's like, oh, crap. Like, she's doing it.
He is.
Yes, he's so happy for me. He'll tell everybody about me. And, but he'll be like, okay, I see you with your videos and all of this. And then you have Kevin that's like, shoot content. Jen, remember that video idea? Go shoot it. And I'm like, okay.
Keep that in mind if you're thinking about joining the team. Kevin is going to tell you to shoot content.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. So don't be afraid.
Don't
Don't come around here if you're afraid.
You know why though? Like I said, it's all about having that brand mindset and setting yourself apart from all the other agents in the industry. So you gotta put the content out. Not only that, but content like cold calling, door knocking, all that stuff is good. It's the basics, right? Yeah. But you also gotta incorporate the new into the old school. So you blend them in together, and you have 1,000 followers. You put one video out.
I have a little bit more than 1,000.
All right, my bad. We'll check her account. We'll check it. Make sure there's no bots.
Don't do it like that. Oh,
but
red flags and all.
let's just say you got 1,500 followers, right? But they're all seeing your content.
Correct.
And the more consistent you are, it's like, all right, I saw that video. Like I got a call the other day. He's like, yo, would you mind being my agent? I was like, what kind of question is that? Of course.
Absolutely.
He's like, that video you put out made me think about, about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. It's like, you got to be top of mind. What I don't like is when like other agents in the industry, they've been in it for so long that they don't understand it. And it's like, oh, you're like, who do you think you are? Like, you think you're a celebrity or like, it's not.
A lot of the older agents say,
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
That's
making all
what
these
you need.
videos. He's got a huge ego. He likes to watch himself. I'm like, it's not for him.
No, it's not.
It's
And
not.
You're missing it. It's going over your head,
bro, he's not here. Jimmy and I, we see a lot of people like, oh, like everybody's starting a podcast now. Like everybody, like, you know what I mean? But I think we were one of the first.
doing it,
Yeah, we
though.
were one of the first originators to do it.
There's a lot of
And I can
agents
say that
making
with
the-
confidence. We started a wave, and it's like, as long as you're consistent and you're putting it out there, your content is going to open doors for you, just like it opened doors for us. And it's all important about having that vision. Like, you got to have that vision. Like, you got to envision yourself doing big things and pushing yourself forward. And like, I'm going to do this. Like, before what you were saying, I would tell my wife all the time, we weren't even married. I was like, yo, I'm going to make X amount of money, but I was nowhere close to making that money.
Yeah.
But I was just always telling her, like, yo, I'm going to make this happen. And she would always believe, like, my wife, same thing, is one of my biggest supporters. And she would always be like, I know you will. I know you will. She's like, but don't get too big. And
Oh my God. That's the same thing.
Don't let your head get too
Don't
big.
let your head get too big.
Yeah.
Don't get gassed.
yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
our upbringings will help us, stay humble.
level-headed, yeah, and humble.
Yeah.
We came from less. We know what it's like
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
100%.
to struggle, to not have a lot. So I
Now
know.
we're
I
just
know
gonna
for
take
me,
over
I'll
the
never
world.
forget. I'll never forget where I come from.
No, you can't. It keeps you, level-headed.
Humble
Yeah.
dude.
If there's one thing that you guys can leave us off with as far as like agent to agent wise, right? Somebody out there who's just a new agent or like looking to join a team, and this isn't a recruitment call or anything, but what advice would you give them? Like, what have you seen from yourself? Like, this is from personal experience.
Oh my goodness. Know your values. Know what you want to do, and then align yourself with the people that are similar and who see your values and actually value how you feel and who you are. Because, like I said, there's snakes out here, and they will see how good you are, and they will use it for themselves instead of to better you.
To touch on that, I would say agent to agent. Like I said before, first sale you have to make is yourself. You got to truly believe that you can do this. Don't come in here with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because you'll be out of the business
Not double
real
Dutch.
quick. Real quick. Set goals for yourself. Have a target to aim for. Don't just get into the industry blind and not knowing what you're aiming for, what you're trying to do. And find a group, a supportive group that will help you grow. I think that's super important. It's going to shorten the learning curve. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to learn, especially in the beginning. It's overwhelming at first, and I feel like that's why a lot of agents don't make it in the first year or two, because it's so much. So yeah, agent to agent, set goals, believe in yourself, or nobody else will, and surround yourself with like-minded individuals that are going to help you elevate your game and take you to the next level.
$1 million game. Anything else you guys want to leave us off with before we sign off?
Oh, if you're about it, you can join us. You got to be about it, though.
Straight up. Join the team. We got a great group, hustlers, hard workers, very supportive.
Humble and hungry.
But you got to be able to, you got to want it. You got to put in the work. Kevin will help you, but he's going to want to see that you want it more than he does. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We're here. If you want to come down, talk to any one of us, we're all
Talk to Kevin.
easygoing people. Definitely talk to Kevin. But yeah, that's all I got.
This was fun.
Team leader wise, and I want to say this on camera to you guys. Like, I'm extremely proud of you guys both. Like, I know you guys had, I guess, like doubts or concerns before joining, but again, I think we blend very well together, and I enjoy working with you guys, and that's a big factor in any team, right? In any job, in any career, that you want to be there, right? And like the people that you're with, because that plays a big effect.
Yeah.
But seeing you guys' growth as far as like leveling up and seeing how much business you guys are doing and how coachable you guys both are is amazing because you're taking the coaching to a next level. Like you guys are really, I'm seeing you guys turn it up a notch, and I'm proud of you guys both. So it's awesome having you guys here.
I feel it, the growth from when I first came.
Me too.
Sometimes it's hard to see it, yourself from the outside looking in. But I'm looking at myself, I'm like, wow, I really am. And it hasn't even been a year yet.
My old goals are like nothing to me.
Right.
I'm like, that's nothing.
Kevin leads by example, I see Kev doing it, I'm like, all right, I know what I got to do. That's it. It's easy.
Take over time.
Yeah, it is.
Just take over time.
Where can people reach out to you? On Instagram, anywhere they can contact you?
Reach me on Instagram, my name, Andrew Nieves, with 2 S's at the end, Nievess. Also on Facebook. I'm not too much of a Twitter or TikTok guy. Not much of a dancer. But catch me on Instagram. You will see a lot more real estate and fitness related content. That's going to be my niche. And I got plenty of ideas brewing. So stay tuned.
And you can catch me at Dream Homes Jen on Instagram. My name, Jennifer Mohammed, on Facebook. I have to switch that. I really should. And yeah, more to come for sure.
Thank you guys again for being here. Again, always a pleasure being around you guys. You guys are amazing. That's the latest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good. You might want to tell your ex. See you next time.